Well, thank you. All right, thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to preface this real quick. I am so nervous right now because I'm always behind the camera telling y'all's story. So telling my story, I just want to let you know this is a screenshot from an actual video that's 17 minutes long that I just completed 2 weeks ago that took me over 2 years, as you can tell from the hair. You know, it was a lot longer yesterday. I just got this cut. So if y'all want to see the 17-minute polished version, it'll be up on my YouTube after today, okay? So thank you all. My name is Joshua Wayne Hunley. I am the owner of Jwayne Productions. As she said, we are a video branding and creative agency based in Pearland, Texas, servicing everywhere from Galveston to Conroe, but all of Texas and the United States, and sometimes even international. Bear with me as I go through some of this PowerPoint here, but I'm going to start with the end. Who is Jwayne Productions and who are we today before I get to how we became? So I have a short video here, which is my official demo reel. So it is going to be a little self-promoting, but just have fun with it.
Peeps, it's your boy Yeti Foot out here in the jungle while you're still hitting snooze.
Okay, you want real? Here it is. I'm Josh, founder of Jwayne Productions. And yeah, that's me, sweating through 12-hour shoots, chasing moments that most people miss. Because this isn't just a video, it's brand power. It's storytelling that cuts through the noise. We don't do fluff. We don't fake results. We make the kind of content that hits hard and sticks. But don't just take my word for it. We've worked with legends, startups, leaders, and dreamers. And they got a thing or two to say about what it's like working with us. So let's flip the script here, shall we?
At the Daily News, we're very careful about our brand, and when we needed to do video work, I reached out to Jwayne Productions. He's a vested partner in this. It's not just you stand in front of the camera and you make it work. He's participating with you. He's helping bring out the very best of you.
When it comes to the way Josh is able to get exactly what I'm thinking, but I'm not using the right words to tell him what it is, he's got the artistic ability to figure that out, pull it out, and show exactly what we're looking for in the video.
It was professionally done, and it was a whole lot of fun working with Joshua. It's been a real joy and an honor to be able to recommend him to our friends and our colleagues.
I totally trusted Jwayne with my client. He did a very professional job, and my client walked away being impressed. They not only brought professional grade equipment, but a real eye for how to make these successful and effective promotional pieces.
And I just want to send a shout out to Jwayne Productions and let you know that if you're considering hiring them for your needs, for your content, videography, photography, whatever the case, we've had a fantastic experience and I do recommend them.
And Josh made our processes so easy. He allowed us the opportunity to work through our challenges as we were trying to tape for the first time. So I definitely enjoyed our experience being the first time that we filmed.
And there it is. No hype, no filters, just facts. So when you're ready to stop blending in and start standing out, we'll be there, geared up and locked in. Jwayne Productions, for brands that refuse to be ignored. Thank you, thank you. So in a nutshell, that is Jwayne Productions. We did film, shoot, and produce everything that you saw there, and I personally had a hand in probably about 90 to 95% of that, whether I was on site filming, directing, editing, or any of the above. So, how did I get here? Well, when I was growing up, I was an ADHD punk kid. I was curious, I was creative. I was always in the timeout corner because my brain just kind of forced me to go this way, that way, and I could never really contain it or control it. If anybody has a kid that's hyperactive, I was probably about 10 times worse. My teachers used to actually tell me that I would never be anything in life because I would never pay attention, my grades were terrible, but I always had a really good heart and I always wanted to see things my way instead of do it the system way. And that got me in a lot of trouble. And it took me a while to figure it out. I was always pushing limits and I just hated being boxed in. As I said, I did not like being told what to do. I hated it. But now I get to tell people what to do in a way that helps them tell their stories, because it's like marketing for yourself. Has anybody ever here tried marketing by themselves for themselves? Yeah, it sucks, right? Yeah, you're an expert in what you do, but when you do it for yourself, for some reason you just fumble it, because you can do it for anybody else because you see the obstacles that are there, but it's hard to do it whenever the obstacle's in front of you for you. And that's kind of what it was for me. So now I'm still an ADHD person. I'm a videographer, but I was able to utilize everything that I did as a kid in a way that helps me see a story in a bigger picture, because I see what happens next, I see what happens at the end, and I see kind of what happens in between everything. And I see it in such a way that as soon as you start talking to me about your business, as soon as you start talking to me about your problem or your story, I see the story, I see what needs to be filled in so that I can tell it a little bit better. I can't explain it, it's just something that we have. I'm now a husband, I'm now a father of 3, and I'm still pushing limits, so I still hate being told what to do.
Are your kids like you?
One of them is, and he drives me nuts. He is my wife doesn't even refer to him as our child. She just refers to him as my child. And I love the kid to death, but he's not as bad as I was, and I thank God that he's on a good path. So how did I get here? Well, as she mentioned, that I always had a camera in my hand. I was always curious, and I always just wanted to film things. Over here, you'll actually see my very first YouTube channel. I'm going to step over just a little bit so everybody can see. You can see my YouTube channel, and it's just filmed with a bunch of random things. Now, this was back in 2009, 2008, when I was 16 or 17 years old. I just happened to find a camera and just started filming things. Me lip singing, that's us at the Target in Pearland in a Sasquatch suit. That's actually me in the Sasquatch suit. And as you can imagine, Jackass was very popular at the time. You can imagine what we're about to do.
Yeah, it's like that looks like.
Yeah, it was. But it was one of our first most popular videos, and I think today on YouTube it has over 200,000 views, which isn't a lot, but at the time it was a lot for us. And hearing, somebody say, "Wow, Josh, that's amazing. Like, I can't believe that you made this. How did you do this?" It really filled me with encouragement, because all my life, from teachers, from doctors, from anybody that I would interact with, said, "Oh, you're just a handful. You're never going to be anything because you don't follow the system, because you don't fall in line, and because you don't do what you're told." Well, I found a creative for that. So as I started growing, as I started filming, I gained some extra equipment. My parents actually bought me this very first camera right here. It cost about $3,000 at the time. It's a 3CCD ENG style camera that you use for news documentary. And this was my present because I just loved filming things. And I told them, I said, this is something that I want to pursue. Now, my parents owned a marketing firm called Best Coupons Magazine. If anybody lives in the Pearland, Friendswood, or Alvin area, you might get a green magazine. That's my parents' firm. And so when I worked with them, I learned graphics design. I learned how to talk with business owners. But I was only 17 or 18 years old. I became part of the Pearland Chamber of Commerce at the time. And so I was thrown into this world of amazing professionals. And there's a lot of amazing professionals here today. And still, I'm super nervous because I'm sure like all of y'all are so much better than me. But it was a mindset at the time that you're looking at the skyscraper of people that make so much money, that do so much business, that have multiple businesses, that manage thousands of people, hundreds of people, or just 10 people. It was insane for me. So it was very overwhelming, but I was pushed into that society. I was pushed into that at a young age, and I learned to adapt and bring that into my adulthood now. Up here is my very first business card, Infectious Productions. Still love it to this day, but the idea was I wanted to go viral. I wanted to be the viral production agency for everybody. And believe it or not, I thought people would hire me for that. Believe it or not, somebody did. My very first job that I ever got paid for was with a real estate company that does virtual tours of apartment complexes and hotels. And Can anybody tell me an idea of how much work goes into a virtual tour? Does anybody in the real estate market? It's a lot of work. It took me at 17, 18 years old, 8 hours to go film one apartment complex. That's 3 models, typically a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom, all of the amenities and all of the exteriors and interiors. 8 hours. I charged $175. Would anybody here work for $175 for an 8-hour day? Yeah. I was 18 years old. I said, hell yeah. I thought from everything that I had been told growing up that when I submitted this footage, they were going to say, wow, we want to hire you for this job. We want to hire you for this job. And we want to hire you for this job because your work is amazing. Because that's all I was told when I filmed. Reality set in. I got the email back, and they said, I thought we hired a professional. It was soul-crushing. I cannot tell you how soul-crushing it was. This is the actual email that I found this just recently, and I pulled this. They sent me an entire list of everything that was wrong. The footage was a little grainy. All interiors need to be lit well. You can change the settings here, because all I knew at the time was auto. I didn't know what manual was. I didn't know what I was doing. Use new tapes. Do this, do that. Don't do this. Your footage is shaky. It sucks. You're going to have to go back and reshoot it. So I took the $175 that I had at the time, because all I had was the camera. I didn't have anything else. And y'all can actually see, these are actual screenshots from the footage that I submitted. You can tell how dark and grainy it was, overexposed over here. The angles were horrible. I don't know what the hell this fountain is. I don't know what I was thinking. But that's what I submitted, and that's what I thought of at the time, because nobody ever instructed me, and nobody ever told me, Josh, you're doing this wrong. And if they did, I just didn't listen. So I took the $175, I invested that back into my business. And it wasn't a business at the time, it was a hobby. I had a Walmart tripod that cost me $25. I had a $3,000 camera, and you're only as good as your weakest link when it comes to equipment. So I invested it into a light kit, I invested into a tripod, and that's the actual tripod right there. I still have it to this day. I love that tripod. It's lasted me over 15 years. That's my light kit that I spent about $200 on altogether. So I took some of my own money from an 18-year-old and invested it as much as I possibly could. I reshot the entire project for free. Another 8 hours. It was long. It was exhausting. But they were okay with it. They said, hey, it still sucks. But, it's okay for what we're paying you for. We got another job. So they took a chance on me and continued paying me. And we built a 3 to 4 year relationship out of that. And I wised up, and I eventually charged them like $600. At that point, they wised up and said, no, you're not worth it. So flash forward a couple of months from this. My friend, Cody, he came up to me. And again, this is while I was still filming these dumbass Sasquatch things, okay? And somebody was dumb enough to come up to me and say, hey, Josh, can you do weddings? I was like, hell yeah, I can. I've never been to a wedding in my life. I didn't even know what a wedding did. I didn't know how it went. But I said, yeah, I can do it. So this is the couple up here, Mr. and Mrs. Yarbrough. I charged them $300 at the time for an entire wedding. Y'all thought real estate videography was hard? Have you ever been to a wedding? Who here has gotten married? And how hard was that day? Yeah. Anybody that's ever been married knows that the best moment, other than spending the rest of your life with the amazing person, is at the moment that wedding is over. Because you'll never want to do it again. I charged $300 for an entire wedding. I invested every single dollar that I had into audio equipment and a secondary camera. That was my entire setup right there. I had a $30 light, a $200 camera, a $3,000 camera, which now at the time was not that great. It was coming into an era of DSLRs were now transitioning to a cinematic style video. So DSLRs were no longer just used for photography. And that's what we ended up using further down the line. This is I have the actual video here, and it's in the 17-minute video. But this is my friend. He worked at Home Depot, and I begged him. I said, hey, can you come help me film this? So this is how professional I was, right? I just pulled one of my friends and said, hey, come help me do this. Like, we don't know what we're doing, but come make me look professional. And that's me testing out my audio equipment, which sounded horrible at the time because I didn't know what I was doing. But I wanted to do what was right for the couple. I wanted to give them the best product that I could at the time because just a couple months earlier, somebody told me I wasn't a professional, and that hurt. And I wanted to make sure that that never happened to anybody that I ever worked with again. Whether that be the quality that I work with, whether that be the experience that I work with, I wanted to bring an experience and a product to my clients that not only that I was proud of, that they were proud of. So we filmed the wedding. These are actual screenshots of the wedding. If you ask me, I think they suck. Overexposed, terrible angle, underexposed. The top right one's okay. And then I don't know what she's doing with her ear right there because we can't see the earrings. Again, I had never been to a wedding. I didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't have a contract. I didn't know what to do. I just filmed whatever I could. And at the end of the day, I produced a 2.5-minute video of the highlights. All you could hear was the I do. You didn't hear any of the toasts, but you saw them. It was a quick snippet. And I was like, yes, weddings. That's where I'm going to make my money. So they loved it. And they still, to this day, I'm in contact with them every now and then. They will say how much that they love their wedding video and that they watch it all the time. I think it's the worst piece of work that I've ever done. But they took a chance on me, and I'm forever grateful for these two people to take a chance on me to propel me. So it was after that day that I decided that I wanted to do weddings. And weddings was difficult. Weddings is a hustle. Weddings is an industry that as soon as you decide that you are done will spit you out and forget about you. There's no repeatability. I'm always hunting brides and grooms and couples because once they get married, that's it. I have nothing left to talk to them about. I can't follow up. I can't do repeat business unless they get divorced and I get lucky enough to get both of them. But that's a different story. Has happened, does happen. But I decided to go into the wedding industry. So I started promoting myself as a professional. I changed my name because who the hell is going to hire me as Infectious Productions in a wedding industry? Well, in today's industry, they might, because now we got like spaghetti films, we've got robot arm weddings. It's like, okay, that doesn't make sense. So I thought to myself, what is a good corporate name? I don't want to be called Joshua Hunley Productions, because thinking in the future, if somebody hires Joshua Hunley Productions, well, they better damn well get Joshua Hunley. So how can I incorporate myself into a business without making myself the product? Jwayne Productions, Joshua Wayne Productions. No, I never introduced myself as Joshua Wayne. I always introduced myself as Joshua Hunley because then I can throw myself under the bus. Let me check with the boss. Let's see what he says. But this was my ads. And in today's market, I mean, these are terrible. There's no branding. There's no consistency. I used the couple that I had to promote myself as a professional. I took a picture of myself in my backyard with, I don't know what kind of Aeropostale shirt, whatever that is. And then I don't know what I was doing with this whole font thing and the complete inconsistency. I think it, as a brand, as in a creative, I think it's horrible. But at the time, people hired me, and I wised up. So I went from $300 because weddings are a lot of work. It's 8 hours days. And then there's a lot of pre-planning involved. And then you got to deal with the mothers, you got to deal with the fathers, the brides, the grooms. And then you got to deal with everybody at the wedding themselves saying, hey, can you come take a video of me? Can you take a picture of me? It's exhausting. So I decided, okay, my next wedding, I'm going to charge $700, more than 100% increase. Well, people still hired me. So I did 4 weddings that year. I marketed myself on Craigslist. I was on Facebook, I was on Twitter, if Twitter was around, I can't remember. But I was everywhere. I was hustling anywhere that I could possibly find somebody needing a low-budget videography team, and that's what we did. I reinvested into more of my equipment, building and building and building, because again, I never wanted to hear those words, this is horrible. I can't believe that we hired you. Now, I understand that in the wedding industry and still learning, I'm going to hear those words. But I never wanted to put myself in a situation that I did not give 120% to my clients. I dedicated every moment from the moment that they signed that contract and paid me, whether it be $1, $100, or $1,000. The price did not matter. The fact that you were working with me made me invest 100% into you. And that's kind of how I built my business. So I reinvested into everything, bought new cameras. This is my desk that I started on, by the way. This is where I did all my edits. And for my 21st birthday, my wife bought me this desk from Office Depot. I love this desk. I still use the same desk today. I love this desk so much that I bought 3 of them. I'm not joking. I bought one for my office, I bought one for my home, and then I bought one for my wife. That's how much this desk and this upgrade meant to me, because this was the moment that I started realizing, holy shit, I might have something. This was my very first big boy purchase, that lens. Does anybody know how much this lens costs? Anybody want to take a guess? All right, y'all are close. I spent $2,000 at the age of 21 to buy this lens. I drove 2 hours to a shady restaurant in, I think it was like the other side of Conroe. It was some Asian restaurant. This guy was selling this lens for $2,000. At the time, it was $2,500. That was every dollar that I had. I actually didn't know if I was going to be able to afford rent. I didn't know if I was going to be able to eat, but I convinced my wife. I said, hey, babe, let me do this, please. Think of the photos. Think of what we can. And she did. So I reinvested. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras. I'm set for weddings. Let me go back for just 1 second. We did 4 weddings the first year. We did 8 weddings the second year. And then I'd say about 12 weddings the year after that. So we were increasing. We started at $300 per wedding, went to $700, got smart, and then we started charging $1,500. Over time, from 2010 to 2022, I did weddings. And I learned a lot. What does 10 years in any hobby, any business, any creative do? If you are not increasing, you're going to die. So y'all saw the screenshots from my very first wedding. This is what it looked like 10 years later.
When you look back 50 years from now, I want you to remember this feeling. This moment. Treasure it. Because in the blink of an eye, it'll all be over. Love not only touches your heart, but comforts the soul. For it's every laugh, every tear, every hug, every kiss that has brought us to this very moment. Let it take you. Let it fill you. And most of all, let it guide you. Today, you too become one. So hold tight. Your story is just beginning.
And I wrote that before ChatGPT. So 10 years in the wedding industry taught me a lot. Now, I'll preface this for a little bit later. Weddings was not the only thing that we did around this time. We also did commercial and corporate, but we focused 100% of our time in weddings. Weddings taught me to be humble. They taught me to be quick. They taught me to think on my feet. because I can't go back and say, oh, I missed this shot. Can we redo it? Now, there were times that I could, but for the majority, if I screwed up, I can't go back and recreate this. I had to be so quick, so fast, so precise, and so on point with my shots that there was no time for filling in the gaps with, questionable shots or, hey, let's just try this. There was no time. That has translated into my commercial side because I can roll with the punches. Shit's going to happen. And I can overcome those obstacles now because I've seen it all. I'm prepared for these things to go wrong. I know these things are going to go wrong because they went wrong every single day I filmed a wedding. There wasn't one wedding that was on time. I take that back. There was one, and it was the worst wedding I've ever been to because everything was so structured, everything so coordinated that there was no time for the couple to have fun, and there was no story because it just felt, we're just going through the motions. And they ended up divorcing a year later anyways. So when I got out of the wedding industry, I got out in 2022. Everybody here, I'm sure, was impacted by COVID. I don't think people understand how hard the wedding industry was impacted by COVID. The way that the wedding industry works is a couple will reach out to us and say, hey, we want to book you for our wedding. Our wedding's not until 2 years down the line. Well, to reserve that date, we have to take a retainer. And in my experience, things happen. People decide they don't want to get married anymore. I want to get paid. So they would pay a 35 or 40% retainer to reserve that date. And then they would pay based on whatever package they got or how close that their wedding was, a percentage every single month or every single quarter or whatever the case may be. So when COVID came around, it came at the worst possible time, in March. March, April, May, and June are one of the two biggest wedding seasons here in Texas because it is beautiful, it is cool, and that's when everybody got married. So we lost that entire season. We lost the second season because of the shutdown. People weren't allowed to gather in public places. So these couples have already paid us, and we weren't able to take on new jobs. The following year, we weren't able to take on new jobs because we had to satisfy the couples that had already paid us, so we were working for no money. So I decided I was done. When we left the wedding industry, we were doing about 30 to 40 weddings a year, and we left with 5-star reviews. And we were doing about $3,500 to $8,000 per wedding. That's what we were typically charging. So that was my whole wedding experience. Now transition to full-time commercial videography. We had been doing commercial work for a long time, and it was 50-50, but we decided after 2022 to go full-time. These are actual screenshots from all projects that we have worked on. Some with the Galveston Chamber of Commerce, some with nonprofits, some with pro athletes, some with community college, some with oil and gas and construction, some with events. We still do events, but we've filmed in basically every single industry that we can possibly think of. I will never forget two key moments growing up that propelled my career into commercial. The very first one was a random phone call that I got the day I had a wedding. And it was, if anybody here is familiar with Steve Matero from Grant Works, used to be DSW Homes. And he called me for a project, and I squeezed him in at the last second. I had a wedding that evening, but I was able to squeeze him in. He liked my work so much that he booked me again in the future. But then he referred me to the Galveston Chamber of Commerce, where I met Gina Spagnola and all of the amazing people at the Chamber of Commerce. Being part of the Galveston Chamber of Commerce and working with everybody that I've gotten to work with has reignited my love for community, for being part of the chamber, so much so that now I'm part of my hometown chamber again, and I'm still part of the Galveston Chamber of Commerce. Working with Gina and seeing these amazing people, hearing these amazing stories, just launched my passion and launched my career forward. I cannot stress to you enough, if this is your first time being a part of the Chamber of Commerce today, be a part of it, because they are the best, hands down. So as I started growing, I started learning, still investing into more and more equipment, and asking questions. When I work with a business owner, it's not like weddings. It's not the same thing. When I did weddings, I don't care if you were getting married 5 years later or 5 years before. I've seen your wedding. I don't care if you're doing something new. I don't care if you think that your wedding is so unique. It's not. I saw it last weekend. When it comes to a business, I have to start at the ground zero every single time, whether that be construction, whether that be investments, whether that be in real estate, whether that be training videos, nonprofits, talking heads, podcasts. Who are you going to target? Are you targeting a consumer? Are you targeting an investor? Are you targeting other businesses? Is your whole goal to create ClickFunnels? I have to figure out where your videos are going to go and how to tell your story and how to navigate your clients or end product consumers there. And I think that's what I love the most, because it's a story to me. Learning each and every single one of y'all's story over time is a favorite memory of mine. And I've worked with some difficult stories. I have told sex traffic survivor stories where they were jailed for years, beaten and abused, and finally overcome them. I have told homeless stories that people are now in affordable housing because of government agency programs. I have told cancer survivor patient stories. I have told every story that you can possibly think of. And hearing every single one of y'all tell a story is what drives me every single day. Because I love a good story. I love telling your story. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for me to tell my story. Even here, I can't imagine I'm still going and I'm still shaking. But when I'm behind the camera and I let a moment breathe, when you finally break down, when you finally open up, when you can trust me enough for the first time to just let it all loose, or when we capture that one shot that was just impossible, that nobody thought we could get, visually, audibly, whatever the case may be, that's why I love what I do. So these are all pictures of me filming across different industries. And no two people are the same. No industry is the same. And I love learning everybody's business. So I grew and grew and grew and grew to where on 2016, August 1st, 2016, the day that my twins were born, I decided to go full-time and never look back. And I've been here ever since. So my takeaway as a videographer, always keep learning. Every job does matter. As I said it in the very beginning, I don't care if you pay me $1, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. If I accept your job, you get 100% of me. Because that's how I have built my business. That's how I believe that we should do business. That's how I believe stories should be told. Because if I give half of me to you and you don't give 100% back, you don't trust me. I'm half-assing it. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be brutal, just as everybody was brutal to me. Because maybe nobody's told you no. Maybe nobody's told you your idea is dumb. Maybe they're too afraid. My job is to pull a story out of you, one way or another, and I'm going to do that. Stories are everywhere. You don't know where a story will pop up. There's a story here today. I'm filming it right now. It's my story. This is the first time in 16 years I have publicly told my story that wasn't to a wall with nobody in front of it. I can't tell you how hard it is to do that. Can't tell you how hard it is for me to do this today. There are stories everywhere. The number one thing that I learned as a videographer: gear does not define you. If you are trying to film, if you're trying to be a photographer, take good photos, take good content. I don't care if you're on an iPhone, a GoPro, a $5,000 camera, if you have a full crew. Your story can still suck. Gear does not define you. People will come up to me and say, wow, that's a really great camera. It must take really great photos. I say, thanks. I taught it everything it knows. Because that's the truth. The best camera that I have is the camera that I have on me. I can figure it out and tell a good story. I advise every single one of you that if you want to pursue anything creative or anything in my field, just go do it, please. I used to take pictures of weeds. I used to ride my bike into ditches and try and find snakes to take pictures of animals. I took some pretty bad photos and pretty bad videos all my life. I still do. But I'm learning every day. I don't know if I can consider myself a true professional, but I know the people that tell me that I am, the people's lives that I've changed, the people's hearts that I have touched. It's because I've given 100%. It's because I've dedicated my life to this passion. And I advise you that if you want any part of it, to just start, whether that be in this industry or whatever industry that you are in, just start, because that's the hardest part. It wasn't built overnight. It took me 16 years to get here today. And I'm still not done. And that's it.